Are we live? I think so. Let's have a look. Haha, there we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Somi says I'm back. QDGMNCS says I am back again. Mustafa says, Wagwan guys, welcome back. We're chilling, we're chilling. How's it going? Things looking good over on the other platform as well. Let's see. I think hopefully a few more people on the higher one. Let's have a look. Although it's pretty good turnout, having said that, on the foundation as well. Hakimi says, hi, Mandem. Hello, my friend. How's it going? Mustafa said, sir, GCSEs are so stressing. Don't worry, my friend. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Probably not today, probably in a couple of days, but the mental, emotional side of things as well, because GCSEs is tough, man. As somebody who's gone through the entire process, GCSEs, A levels, uni, all of that, my personal opinion is that GCSEs is the toughest one of them all. Obviously, it's not the hardest content, right? Obviously, A levels are more difficult than GCSEs in terms of content, but psychologically, emotionally, managing, so many different exams. I think it's a tough one. I think it's a tough one. Maria said, I miss GCSEs. Yeah, I get that, Maria. I get that. QDD said, not so much if you're good at it. um, okay. FTWI Hadi says, hello, welcome, bro. Hello, my friend. Good to have you on. Guys, we're going to be starting at 6:35, maybe a little bit after. Maybe a little bit after. Evie, hello. Good to have you. Okay, okay. I'm actually maybe I'll just run like this. Maybe. No, I'll go for this. Let's go for that. Okay, perfect. I was just playing around with stuff on the back. Abdul Khan said start at 6:40. We're going to be starting at 6:35, maybe a couple of moments after. Okay. Looking at the chat, Juwari said, hey gang, lock in. Come on, come on. Man like Family I'm Cuz, one of the OGs in the chat. Good to have you, mate. Good to have you. Thank you for the help with everything. Appreciate it very much. Okay, okay. Tonight we're gonna make things a little bit more chilled out. We're gonna make things a little bit more chilled out. I'm in like a habit of every time I do a live, it's always like so intense. We're gonna make it a little bit more chilled out tonight, a little bit more chilled out. I think so, at least. I think so. AA said nice. Yo, what's good? Everybody watching on the channel, actually, could you please do me a favor? Could you please do me a favor? Also, if you're watching on TikTok, when I clap, please put clap in the chat. So type clap in, but don't hit enter yet. And then when I clap, please put clap in the chat. I just want to see if we've got a delay. Okay, 3, 2, 1, clap. Okay, everybody spam, please. Let's see if we got a delay. Ah, that's cool. That's cool. Good. No delay. No delay. Beautiful. Clap, 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 clap. Thank you, Abigail. Thank you, Holly, Michelle. Thank you, Darius, Somi. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Abdul, Emma. Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Yay. Good to have you on, Emma, one of our Live Academy members. Thank you, Ishi. Thank you, QSS Editorium. Guys, can I please say as well, if you get any adverts on YouTube, I didn't mean to turn them on. I need to not say that too loud, otherwise I get, the thing dodges up. Anyway, yeah, if you get any adverts, I don't actually mean to have them turned on. So if you do get an advert, just bear in mind that if you watch it and then you come back in the stream, then it's going to be a couple of moments behind. So my advice would be to, after watching the thing, just refresh the page, and then it's gonna make you live again. It's gonna make you live again. Man like Draka says, can you start soon? Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. We're gonna get going now. Actually, we're gonna get going now. To anybody who's new, the format is essentially, I'm going to give you a little bit of time to do each of the questions. and then I'm going to go through the answers. Anybody who was in the foundation stream earlier, you recognize these first few questions. The first few questions of the higher paper are the last few questions of the foundation paper. So we actually did this question about 20 minutes ago on the foundation stream. In fact, because we've already done it recently and a lot of people were on both streams, I'm just going to go through this one. So work out 6.3 times by 2.4. How do we multiply a decimal by a decimal? Well, the best way to do it is going to be to firstly remove all of the decimal places. So we're going to do 63 times by 24, and then we're going to put our decimals back in. So we're going to use column method, 63 times by 24. We're going to do 4 times by 3, which is 12. And then we're going to write in a 0, and we're going to do 4 times by 6, which is 24. Next step, we're going to multiply our 2 by each of our numbers, but we're going to add an extra 0 in because the 2 is a column across. So we're going to put a 0 in. We're going to do 2 times by 3, which is 6. Then we're going to write 2 zeros in because the 6 and the 2 are both a column across, and we're going to do 6 times by 2, which is 12. Next up, we're going to add together each of our numbers. 2 plus a bunch of zeros is 2. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 6 is 11. Write in the 1, carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 2 is 5. Write in the 1. 1,512. How many decimal places did we remove? We removed 2 decimal places. So we're going to put 2 decimal places back into our answer. We're going to get 15.12. Went through that one pretty quickly just because it's right at the start. And we also went through it in that foundation session. Moving on to our next one. Question number 2, write down the value of 5 to the 0. Put your answer in the chat for me, and then we're going to go through it. Everybody wondering whether this is a higher or foundation paper. This is a higher paper. Higher paper. Mustafa says 1 for this one. Oscar says 1 as well. Guys, if you said 1, you are correct. To do any number to the power of 0, we just write 1. That means that 10 to the 0 is 1, 100 to the 0 is 1, and crucially, x to the power of 0 would also be 1. Well done, Yay, Chloe, Oscar, Tomo, Sri Lanka, Jevi, AA, Emma Kelly. Superb work, guys. What about the value of 5 to the negative 2? Drop your answer in the chat for this one. Quite a lot of people asking on the TikTok about who certain people are. I'm actually replying to the chat on the channel at the moment. That's going to be what I'm going to focus on just because it's easier. It's an easier setup. So if you do want to engage with the chat, feel free to come over to the channel. I'll also give you a shout out if you do come over. 5 to the negative 2 is 1 over 25. If you got that one, well done. What did we do? Well, any number to a negative power, how do we deal with it? We do 1 over it. So 5 to the negative 2 is going to be 1 over 5 to the 2. And 5 to the power of 2 is 25, so we have 1 over 25. Hopefully that one made sense there, guys. What we did was we did 1 over 5 to the power of 2. Next, write 2 to the 5 times 2 to the 4 over 2 to the 3 in the form 2 to the power of n, where n is an integer. What's it going to be? Well, in this case, we need to know our laws of indices. And we also need to recognize that when we have a fraction, this actually means the same as divide by. So we essentially have 2 to the 5 times by 2 to the 4 divided by 2 to the power of 3. When we have a base to a power and we times it by the same base to another power, we add the powers. So this is 2 to the 9 divided by 2 to the power of 3. When we have a base to a power and we divide it by the same base to another power, we subtract the powers. So here we have 2 to the power of 6. Hopefully that one made sense. Moving on to our next question. 5 seconds to screenshot these ones though. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 3. Guys, 61 of us at the moment on the channel. Let's see if we can get past 100 today. Let's see if we can get past 100. Everybody who's watching, not on the channel, please consider coming over to the channel. And if you do, drop it in the chat. And I'll give you a little shout out as well. I'll give you a little shout out. We're going to try and get the chat popping off. Last year, we got up to 500 people the day before paper 1, which is not that far away, The main reason to come to the channel is because that's the one where I reply to the chat. And also just because you can kind of see it a bit better if you're on an iPad or computer or something. Okay, question 3A. write 156 as a product of its prime factors. This is where we're going to do our factor tree. We're going to write 156 at the top. We're going to break it down into smaller and smaller factors until all that we have is prime numbers. First off, we can split it into 2 times by 78. We could do that using bus stop if we wanted. We could see that 2 is a factor because it's an even number. Next up, we can divide this into 39 times by 2. And we can divide this into 13 times by 3. Writing it as a product of its prime factors, then we're going to do 2 times by 2, our 2's there, times by 3, times by 13, times by 13. Hopefully that one made sense. There we did our prime factorization and then multiplied each of our powers together. If it asked us to do it in index form, then we'd have to write it as 2 squared times by 3 times by 13. Okay, next up, this question asks us for the highest common factor of 156 and 130. We've already done a prime factorization of 156. There's 2 different ways to do this. We could either do it manually by writing out all of the factors of 156 and all of the factors of 130, or we can use the prime factorization method. So we've already done a prime factorization for 156. Let's do it for 130 as well. I'm just going to write out what we found for 156. It was equal to 2 times 2 times 3 times by 13. So doing it for 130 then, what are we going to have? Well, we can split this into 13 times by 10. Circle the 10 because it's prime. And then the 10 we can split into 5 times by 2. These are both prime numbers, so we're going to circle them. Now, how do we do the Venn diagram method? What we're going to do is we're going to draw out a Venn diagram. We're going to write one of our numbers next to 1. Let's do 130 on the left, 156 on the right. Then what we're going to do is we're going to write each of our factors inside of our Venn diagram. However, we're going to write the ones which are in both of them in the middle, which are in one of them in either of the sides. So what do we have in both? Well, we have a 2 in both, so we can write that in the middle. Then we also have a 13 in both, so we can write that in the middle. And I've just crossed them out to make that clear. Left over in the 156, we have a 2 and a 3. Left over in the 130, we have a 5. Finding the highest common factor, then how do we do it, guys? What we're going to do is we're going to multiply the numbers on the intersection of the 2 circles. So we're going to multiply the factors which are common to both. So we're going to do 2 times by 13. Oh, that was absolutely terrible. We're going to do 2 times by 13. And that is going to give us 26. That is going to give us 26. Hopefully that one made sense. If they wanted the lowest common multiple, we could have multiplied all of the numbers in the Venn diagram. We could have done 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 times 13. 2 times 2 is 4 times 3 is 12 times 5 is 60 times 13 is 780. I think I did that very quickly. So it could be wrong. Check that. But yeah, 2 times 2 is 4 times 3 is 12 times 5 is 60 times 13. Yeah, 780. So that's how we would have done the lowest common multiple if they asked us to do that. Yeah, good job, Muzan. Superb, superb. Okay, question number 4. This one's pretty tricky, guys. This one's pretty tricky. It says the mean length of 5 sticks is 4.2 centimeters. Nawal measured the length of one of the sticks as 7 centimeters. Then we're asked to work out the mean length of the other 4 sticks. Okay. Emma Kelly said, that's such a good trick. Hey, good to have you on. Muzan said, hey, I'm back. Hey, nice, 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 nice. Okay. All right. Let's go through this one. How are we going to do this? It's pretty tricky, to be honest. Question number 4. The mean length of 5 sticks is 4.2. Nawal measured... Guys, this reminds me. Has anybody seen the Narwhal song on YouTube? Has anybody seen that? Because if you have, I don't know why, this just reminded me of it. The swimming in the ocean one. That's Too funny. Okay, so anyway, Noel measured the length of one of the sticks as 7 centimeters. Work out the mean length of the other 4 sticks. What we're going to do is we're going to use the first piece of information to find the total length of all of the sticks together. So we're going to do 5 times by 4.2. And that's going to be the total length of all of the sticks. 5 times by 4 is 20. 5 times by 0.2 is 1. So this is going to be 21. Now, we know that one of the sticks was 7. So if we take this away, we can get all of the other sticks added together. So we can do 21, subtract 7, which is going to be 14. So this is all 5 sticks. This is going to be the remaining 4 sticks. So working out the mean length of the other 4 sticks, we can do 14 divided by 4. 14 divided by 2 is 7. Divided by 2 again is going to be 3.5. The other way to do that, well, that is the best way to do it. You could do it with the bus stop method if you wanted to. But yeah, that's going to be the best way or the quickest way. Okay, Nawal said, or Nawal actually made a mistake. The stick wasn't 7 centimeters. It was actually 17. How does this affect your answer to part A? Well, in part A, we said the average length of the other 4 was 3.5. Well, if this other stick was actually longer and the overall mean was still 4.2, it means that there's going to be less of a length for the remaining 4. So the other sticks would have all been shorter. So we can say the other sticks would have been shorter. The reason is because more of that total would have been taken up by that big stick. Okay, hopefully that one made sense, guys. Moving on now to question number 5. We're going to skip this one because you need a compass to do it, but I'll quickly show you how you would do it in theory. Point P lies on the point AB. Use a ruler and a compass to construct an angle of 90 degrees at point P. You must show all your construction lines. So what we would do here is we would put our compass on point P. We would set it to a given length. We would make a mark here, and we would make a mark the same length here. The next thing we would do is we would get our compass and we would put it on here, and we would set the compass to over half of the length. Then we would draw a big arc round like this. The next step is we would take the compass, we would crucially keep the length the same. We would put it on this point this time, and we would draw a beautiful arc like this. The final step then would be to draw a line which goes through the top and the bottom. This was actually not too bad, especially if I just go like this. No, okay, it wasn't perfect, but yeah, if I go like this, it's more perfect. So that's how we would do it in reality. I can't do it on the iPad just because you need a compass for it. Hopefully that one made sense. Okay, question number 6. We are moving fast today. We're moving fast. This is a 4-mark question. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to slow down, that's for sure. Okay, 4 marks up for grabs in this one. Let's have a look. Mustafa said, is the phone verification still isn't working? Go to Microsoft account. Not sure what you mean, mate. Or maybe you're trying to help somebody. Looks like you're trying to help somebody in troubleshooting. Good job, Mustafa. Thank you. Mr. Colo said, yo, my GCSE maths, is this GCSE or IGCSE? Thank you, Mustafa. Thank you. This one is GCSE paper. GCSE paper. Let me know in the chat, everybody, if you can, please. Would you like me to go faster or slower or same pace? Because I'm very conscious that I'm moving a bit quicker today, but I know some people like me to just go through the questions. What should we do? Faster, slower, same pace? Mustafa says faster. Alexander, faster. If I hear faster, everybody's saying faster or same pace. Okay, most people are saying same or faster. Same, same, same. Okay, most people are actually saying same. Most people are saying same. Let me set up a poll on the YouTube. Yeah, good shout, good shout. Start a poll. Add option. Slow down go faster, keep the pace the same. Maybe I'll add some emojis in there. Oh, I can't do that. Okay. Should I speak? Should I go faster? Okay, guys, I've just set up a poll on the channel. Just set up a poll on the channel. What do we think? 60 of us watching at the moment. Let's try and get that over 100 today. Let's try and get that over 100. If you are currently watching on the TikTok, consider coming over to the channel. That's mainly going to be where the chat's popping off. That's mainly going to be where it's popping off. Okay, anyway, let's have a look at this question. In the meantime, everybody, please take a vote on that poll if you can. Question number 6, let's have a look. The question says the diagram shows an isosceles triangle ABD and the straight line ABC. We're told that BA is equal to BD, so that's shown with these lines here. And then it says the ratio of X to Y is 2 to 1. So this means that X, the angle X, is double the angle Y. Where can we go from here then? We're asked to work out the value of W. So if we have Y, then we can work out W because angles on a straight line add to 180. But how can we go about working out this angle Y? Well, we know that this angle here is also going to be X. And that's because angles at the base of an isosceles triangle are the same. So if this is X, then this also has to be X. Now, we also know that X is double Y because in the ratio, X is 2 parts, Y is 1 part. So we can actually write that these angles X are actually 2 lots of the angle Y. We can then use this to set up an equation which allows us to work out Y. We know that all of the angles in a triangle add up to 180, and we know that the angles in this triangle are 2Y, 2Y, and Y. So we can say 2Y plus 2Y plus Y equals 180. So 5Y equals 180. Then we can divide both sides by 5. We're going to get 36. I'll just double check that and just show how to work it out. So we can use bus stop method. 5s into 1 is 0, remainder 1. 5s into 18 is 3, remainder 3. Is 3, remainder 3. Yeah, oh yeah. 5s into 30 is 6. So it was 36. Beautiful. So Y is 36. How can we work out W? Well, we know that angles on a straight line add to 180. So we can do 180, subtract our 36, and that is going to give us 144. And that is going to be our angle. That is going to be our angle. If you got that one, wonderful, wonderful job. Pretty tricky question. Pretty tricky question, I would say. Definitely used some problem solving there. We're going to move on to question number 7. This one is 5 marks. This one is 5 marks. Let's see. Let's see. 5 marks. I'm going to give you a bit of time to think about how to do it. Then I'm going to go through it. We're keeping the pace pretty high today. Looking at the poll, what were people saying? What were people saying? Okay, we have 13% saying slow down, 42% saying go faster, and 45% saying keep the pace the same. The majority is saying keep the pace the same. Keep the pace the same. Okay. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. We're going to keep it high, but we're going to keep it the same because we're moving fast at the moment. We're moving fast. To anybody who's watching on the TikTok, please consider coming over to the channel. We're trying to get it up to 100 people at the moment. We're on 65. 200 of us watching on the TikTok at the moment, which is pretty cool. Hello, Alicia Louise. Hello, Michaels. Hello, Slammed by Ghost. Okay. Question 7, man like Mano. Some people saying this is a weird question. Yeah, this one is a pretty weird question. Yeah, Muzan, drop your answer in the chat. Ah, that's interesting, Hira. I'm gonna check that out. Send me an email and I will check it out. It should be wired up correctly though. There may be some glitch or something. I'll check that out. Don't worry. So yeah, just send me an email, Hira, and I'll check that out for you. Okay, question number 7. Let's have a look at this one. It says that Mano has 3 shelves of books. There are X books on shelf A. There are 3X plus 1 shelves on books on shelf B. There are 2X minus 5 books on shelf C. There is a total of 44 bucks on the 3 shelves. All of the bucks have the same mass. The bucks on shelf B have a total mass of 7,500 grams. Work out the total mass of the bucks on shelf A. So there's a bunch of different parts to this. But first off, we can see that we're told there's X bucks on A and also on B and C what there is, and 44 bucks in total. So we can set up an equation where we add together all of our numbers of bucks. So we have X plus 3X plus 1 plus 2X minus 5, and this is equal to 44 bucks in total. We can rearrange, or we can simplify this and rearrange to find X. We're going to collect our like terms. X plus 3X is 4X, plus 2X is 6X. So we have 6X minus 4 equals 44. Now we can add 4 to both sides. 6X equals 48. Now we can divide both sides by 6. X is equal to 8. Now, where can we go from here? Well, we know that on shelf B, there's a total mass of 7,500 grams. Well, how many bucks do we have on shelf B? We have 3X plus 1, and X is 8. So the number of bucks on shelf B, we're going to have, let me just change color. We're going to have 3 times by 8 plus 1. That's going to be 25 bucks on shelf B. Moving forwards from here, how can we work out the mass of one of our bucks? Well, if there's 7,500 grams in total and we have 25 bucks, we can do 7,500 grams. So 7,500 grams divided by 25 bucks. Now, there's a couple of different ways of thinking about this. I wrote it out as a fraction because that's actually going to be really helpful. We can simplify this by dividing top and bottom by 5 if we want to, or we could divide top and bottom by 25 straight away. The way that I would recommend doing this is actually scale 25 up to 100. So let's start off by timesing the top and bottom by 2 to get it over 50. Then we can do the same again to get it over 100. So we can times the top and bottom both by 2. We're going to get 15,000 over 50. And then we're going to get 30,000 over 100. Now it's pretty easy to do this. We can divide the top and bottom both by 100. We're going to get 300. So we know that each buck has a mass of 300 grams. So let's write grams. So each buck has this mass. And now let's bring this question home. What did the question actually ask us? It asked us the total mass of the bucks on shelf A. So how many bucks were on shelf A? It was X. We worked out that X was 8. We know that each one weighs 300, so we can now do 8 times by 300, and that is going to give us 2,400. 2,400, that is going to be our answer to this one. If you got that, nicely done. Fantastic work, Hira Khalid. Fantastic work, yes, sir. Well done, yay. Well done, hi, hi. Yeah, good job. Well done, Musan. Yeah, nicely done, guys. Nicely done. Okay, if you got that, good work. I'm going to have a quick glance at the TikTok. Okay, bunch of different answers going in there. Quite a lot of people saying 2,400. If you did get that, good work. Okay, next up, question number 8. Question number 8. This one says the normal price of a mattress is reduced by 40% in a sale. The price of a mattress in the sale is £660. Work out the normal price of the mattress. The normal price of the mattress. What do we reckon? What do we reckon? Pretty tricky, to be honest. Normally a topic which comes up in a calculator paper, but as we see, it can come up in a non-calculator paper. Yeah, Mustafa, absolutely. Feel free to submit your answer. I need to try and find a way to turn the ads off. But I don't know how to do that at the moment. Hopefully the ads have not been too annoying. Guys, as well, if you're watching on the channel and it's a little bit out of time, feel free to refresh it and it should catch up. I'm just going to do a quick check. I'm going to do a clap check. Guys, if you could please type clap in the chat, but only hit send when I clap my hands, okay? Then we're going to go through this question. Everybody on the TikTok, everybody on the YouTube, I'm just checking if there's a delay. Clap in the chat in 3, 2, 1. Clap. Let's see. Are we running with a delay or are we looking cool? Okay, we're looking good. We're looking good. There's like two. Woo, the chat's popping off on that one. Thank you, Somi, Tony, Amr. Thank you, Mo. Thank you, Dark. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Lily, Daniel, Somi, George, Abdul, the Starry Banana Gaming, Henry, Aaron, QDG, Muzan, Mo, Silla P, Mustafa, Muzan. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody over on the TikTok as well, guys. Question number 8. Let's see what's popping with this one. So, we're told that the normal price is reduced by 40% and it's now 660. We want the normal price. This is a pretty much guaranteed type of question to come up. This topic is reverse percentages, reverse percentages. So this is where they tell us the price after a discount and ask us to work out the original price. How do we do it? Well, we're going to start off by writing out what percentage we currently have of the original. So it's been reduced by 40%, so we have 60% of the original. So we can say that 60% of the original, 60% of the original is £660. We need 100% of the original, right? That's going to give us the original overall. The way that we're going to do it is we're going to work from 60% to 10%. And then we're going to scale that up to 100%. So we're going to divide by 6 to go from 60% to 10%. 660 divided by 6. We can do that using the bus stop method. 660 divided by 6. 6 is into 6, 1. 6 is into 6, 1. 6 is into 0, 0. So it's 110. So 10% of the original is going to be £110. Oh, not £10. That'll be a steal. £110. Now we can scale this back up to 100%. We're going to do 1,000. We're going to do 110 times by 10. We're going to get 1,100. AA, well done. Yes, sir. Well done. Mustafa, well done. Guys, if you got that one, brilliant job. Brilliant job. 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 9. We are going to skip this one just because it's a bit awkward to do on the paper. But we are going to do question number 10. This one is a interesting question. Interesting. Okay. Oh, currently up to 82 of us on the channel. Nice. Can we get it to 100? If you're currently watching on the TikTok, please consider coming over to the channel. That's where I'm responding to the chat. There's less people on the channel at the moment. Maybe we can get it up past 100. If you do come from the TikTok to the channel, let me know in the chat. And I'll give you a little shout out. I'll give you a little shout out. Question number 10, let me tell you, looks easier than it is. Looks easier than it is. Okay. All right. Question number 10. Atik Uraman just said, I came from the TikTok. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Okay. Lots of different answers going in the chat. Lots of people thinking this one's 25 pi. We will see in just a moment. We'll see in just a moment. Somebody saying 64 over pi. Guys, let's have a look. Question number 10, how are we going to do it? The question says that the circumference of a circle is 10 meters. We're asked to work out the area of the circle, giving our answer in terms of pi. Now, if we know, or maybe we know, that the area of a circle is pi r squared. So area of a circle is pi r squared. What that means is that we need to work out the radius. We need to work out the radius. How can we do that? Well, we've been told that the circumference of a circle is 10 meters. How do we work out the circumference? Well, we might know that the circumference we can either write as pi times by diameter, pi d, or we can write as 2 pi r, 2 times pi times the radius. So we can actually set up an equation here to allow us to work out our radius in terms of pi. We know that the circumference is 10, so we can say that 2 pi r is equal to 10. Where can we go from there? Well, we can work out our radius in terms of pi. We can divide both sides of our equation by 2. We're going to get that pi times by the radius is equal to 5. And then we can divide both sides of our equation by pi. We're going to get that our radius is equal to 5 divided by pi. Now what we can do, now that we have our radius in terms of pi, we can plug this into our formula for the area. So we can say that our area is equal to pi times by our radius squared, so 5 over pi squared. We can simplify this to pi times by 25 over pi squared, which we can simplify again to 25 pi over pi squared. We kind of think of pi there as pi over 1. Now we can divide top and bottom both by pi. We're going to get 25 over pi. Because on the bottom, pi squared divided by pi is just pi. It's just pi. Okay. Tricky question. 5 seconds to screenshot this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 11. We're going to skip this one just because it's a bit awkward on here. And we will do question 12. This one's important. This one's super important. I've got a question. Today's stream has been a little bit different to the last ones we've done, just because I've been working fairly quicker. So I'm going to set up a quick poll. And for anybody who's been in the recent streams and is also here today, can you let me know in the chat, is it better today or better before? Better today or better before? Although it won't let me open a poll. Okay, I need to end the previous poll first. There we go. Engage, start poll. I'm going to say, how's it going? And the two options are going to be better before and better today. Today we're working quicker. There's more people watching. Let's see. Local Aviator says better before because you were watching. Mustafa says today 100%. Abdul Khan says, when's the next time you'll be live? Stay tuned for the announcement. I'm not sure at the moment. Pretty much everybody on the TikTok is saying today is better. Okay, interesting. The realistic came from the TikTok. Very cool. Question 12. Let's have a look at this one. Man like Hannah says, solve it. Come on. Okay, let's have a look. The straight line L has equation 2y equals 3x minus 7. Find an equation of the straight line perpendicular to L that passes through the point 6,5. This is an absolutely classic question. Perpendicular lines. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to start off by recognizing that the general equation of a straight line is y equals mx plus c, where m is the gradient and c is the y-intercept. So this is what we're going to be trying to work out for our line overall. How can we work out the value of m? Well, we know that the line is perpendicular to this one. Perpendicular means that they meet at a right angle. And if they meet at a right angle, it means that the gradients are the negative reciprocals of one another. So we can work out the gradient of L. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to start off by rearranging it to make y the subject. So we have 2y equals 3x minus 7. We can divide both sides by 2 to get the y on its own. We're going to have y equals 3 over 2x minus 7 over 2. What this means is it means that the gradient of L is equal to 3 over 2, because that's the number next to the x. From here, find an equation of the straight line perpendicular to L that passes through 6 minus 5. That means that the gradient of our line, so the gradient of our line is the negative reciprocal of this, which means that we're going to make it negative and we're going to flip it. So 3 over 2 is going to become negative 2 over 3. Now what we can do is substitute this in for m. So we know that the equation of our line so far is y equals negative 2 over 3x plus c, where c is the y-intercept. The final thing we need to do then, guys, is we need to work out the value of c. How can we do that? What we can do is we can substitute in the point that we have. We have the point 6, negative 5, so we know that when x equals 6, so when x equals 6, y is equal to negative 5. So we can sub those values in. We're going to have negative 5 equals negative 2 over 3 times by 6 plus c. Negative 2 over 3 times by 6. 2/3 of 6 is 4, so this is going to be negative 4. So negative 5 equals negative 4 plus c. Add 4 to both sides, negative 1 equals c. Finally, then we can write out our equation by substituting our value of c back in. We're going to have y is equal to negative 2 over 3 x minus 1, minus 1. Hopefully that one made sense there, guys. If that one didn't make sense, I definitely recommend revising that topic because it's very likely to come up, very likely to come up. Okay, moving on then. 5 seconds to screenshot, actually. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 13. Okay, a tricky one here, Just a pre-warning as well. After this question, I am gonna ask for the Google reviews again. It's the halfway mark. We always have like a couple of minute break. And guys, I'm gonna ask you to leave a quick Google review. It's the only way that I'm gonna be able to keep doing these free social media live streams. So I do have some more live streams, some which are kind of small group lessons. So there's 4 lives a week, every week on mygcsemaths.com. It's £20 a month, less than £1.50 a lesson, and there's 5 people in each of the classes. You can use the code at the moment, MGM launch, for 25% off. I'll mention that a little bit at the end of today's session for anybody interested. But I do intend, I really want to keep doing some of these social media lives for free. The only way I'm going to be able to keep doing some for free is if I can get enough Google reviews. So if you can leave a Google review, that would be absolutely amazing. If you're watching on the TikTok, the way to do that is going to be to go over to my profile, and it's the link in my bio. If you're watching on the channel at the moment, it's going to be the link in the description. So in the description, you have to click more. The first one's like a little advert for the streaming software that I'm using that I can't get rid of. But after that, you click more, you'll see the Google reviews. And if you can leave a Google review, that would be absolutely amazing. Like I say, I really want to keep doing these for free. The only way I'm going to be able to keep doing them for free is if I can get enough of these Google reviews. Yeah, if you can do that after this question, that would be absolutely amazing. In the meantime, though, let's go through it. Let's see what we can do. Thank you very much, Thank you very much. Let's see what we can do. Question number 13. It says that solid A and solid B are similar. Difficult question, this one. The ratio of the height of solid A to the height of solid B is 2 to 5. The volume of solid A is 12. Work out the volume of solid B. As soon as we see a ratio and a length and a volume in the same question, instantly we're going to be thinking of our length, area, and volume scale factors. What do we know? Well, we know from this that the ratios of the lengths, so the ratio of the lengths, so actually let me say the lengths of A to the lengths of B is going to be 2 to 5. From this, we want to work out the ratio in the volumes. We want to work out the ratio in the volumes. So how do we do that? Well, to go from the ratio in the lengths to the ratio in areas, we would square it. To go from the ratio in lengths to the ratio in volumes, so volume of A to volume of B, we have to cube our ratio. So the ratio in volumes is going to be 2 cubed to 5 cubed. 2 cubed is going to be 2 times 2 times 2, which is going to be 8. And 5 cubed is going to be 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125. Now we can go about seeing what the volume of B is going to be. We know that the volume of A is 12. So we can put in our ratio that the volume of A is 12. This is a tricky question, by the way. We can put that our volume is 12. We can think about what do we times 8 by, to get 12? Well, we times it by 1.5. So we're going to do the same to our 125. We're going to times it by 125. We're scaling this up so that we have a 12 on the left, something on the right. So we're going to do 125 times by 1.5. The best way to do this is going to be to find half of 125, which is 62.5, and then to add this on. So 125 plus 62.5 is going to be 187.5. You can use the column method for that. So we're going to have 187.5 here, and that is going to be our volume. Guys, absolutely amazing work. If you got that one, that was a tricky question. We're going to be starting again at 20 past 7. I'm going to be extending this session a little bit over the half past that was originally planned. I'm super happy to say I can do that. So we're going to be starting again. So starting again at 1920. That gives us 3 minutes, guys. 3 minutes. So, like I was saying before, I don't know if you heard, if you didn't. In order to keep doing the free social media live streams, I'm gonna need to please ask as many of you as possible to leave some Google reviews. So there is a link in my bio on TikTok on my profile page. All you have to do is leave the stream now. Quickly click that. It's going to take you through to the review thing. If you're watching on the YouTube at the moment, you can see in the description, there's a link for finding the review. Selflessly, it would just really help me out. It would really help me out. So yeah, that would be amazing if you could. But selfishly, it's going to help you guys because like I said, it's the only way I'm going to be able to keep doing the free lives, which I really want to keep doing all the way through exams. So yeah, sorry to keep waffling on. Any questions? Let me know in the chat now. Like I say, we're going to be starting again at 20 past 7. And I'm going to have a quick look to see if anybody does actually leave the Google reviews. I'll give you a quick shout out if you do. Guys, I would really appreciate it. I would really appreciate it. Let's see. Has anybody left any? Okay, few people have. Oh, oh, guys. Okay, somebody put 1 star. Hey, can I get some backing in the? Can I get some backing in the reviews? Somebody put 1 star for saying ignores the questions asked in the chat, but 1 star for putting time into skips and questions as well. Guys, that's really gonna pull down the average rating. So now it actually matters more if you can leave a review. I would really appreciate it if you can, because that will actually pull it down quite a bit. Oh, that's a bit annoying. That's a bit annoying. You said, where's the link? I don't have it on I don't have TikTok. The link is in the description of the YouTube live. Yeah, now it actually really matters. Now it actually really matters because that's going to pull down the average rating. So yeah, if you could, that I would super appreciate it. And let me know in the chat if you do. We're going to be starting again in just 1 minute. QDG said 1 star decreases the average. Yeah, unfortunately, it really decreases the average. Arisha said, oh no, I missed today's class. Don't worry, Arisha, we're going to keep going for a while yet. Ashton said, I left the review. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. More X said, yeah. Okay, awesome. Anton said, where do you do the Google reviews? You can find in the link on my profile. Mustafa's got my back. Thank you. You said just gave you 5 stars. Thank you. Hira Khalid said me too. Guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That was a bit annoying that person did a little 1 star. Oh guys, the people pulled through for that. Okay, I thank you so much, eh? Thank you, Anton. Thank you, Joshua, Kareen. Thank you, Mean Dog. Thank you, William. Nice screenshots as well. I like that a lot. That's cool. Thank you, Zach, Jasneet. Guys, that's so sick. Thank you so much, eh? Ah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you. So whoever put that 1 star, that counteracts it. That counteracts it. Thank you, Baber. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Young Leon. Appreciate it very much, guys. Thank you, Josh Coffee. Thank you, Bob Burger. Bob Burger said I left bad reviews. So hopefully not. Hopefully not. Definitely there's some people who like to troll. Okay, amazing. Guys, to everybody who just left a review, thank you so, so much. I appreciate it very much. I don't want to be jarring. I don't want to be jarring. I will probably ask again at the end. So just to pre-warn everybody, if I ask it again at the end, it's not for the people who have already done it. Guys, I'm very grateful. Thank you so much. It's for the people who have joined the stream at the end. It's for the people who joined the stream at the end. Want to ask again. Guys, okay, let's get that frying pan back out. Let's start cooking. Let's start cooking. Okay, question 14. 3 marks up for grabs in this one. Hassan, good to have you on. Hopefully, my friend, the revision has gone well today. Mustafa said I gave 10-star review. How about that? Come on, come on. I'm a Legend said, how do you leave a review? Thank you very much. The way to leave a review is you would actually have to exit the live and you can go to my profile. And on my profile, the link is actually a link which takes you straight to the reviews, and you can just do it there. You can just do it there. I'm a Legend said, what's a bio? It's kind of my TikTok profile. So to leave a review, I'll just make a quick note. To leave a review. Use the link in my profile. Okay. So that's for anybody wondering. Guys, let's go through this question then. We're going to keep the pace high then. We're going to get back to it. Thank you very much. Hopefully a few of you had a nice refresher during that break. Let's have a look. Work out the value of 27 to the 2 over 3 plus a half to the negative 3. Here we have a classic laws of indices question. It's a difficult one. Let's see what we can do. First of all, 27 to the power of 2. Oh, that's a 2. So 27 to the power of 2 over 3 plus a half to the power of negative 3. What can we do here? Well, how do we do a number to a fractional power? What we're going to do is we're going to do the root of the number on the bottom, and then we're going to raise it to the power of the number on the top. So here we're going to do the cubed root of 27. So the cubed root of 27. And then we're going to raise it to the power of the number on the top, so we're going to square it overall. Then, to simplify this half to the power of negative 3. When we do a number to a negative power, what we do is we do 1 over whatever that otherwise would have been. In the case of a fraction, when we do 1 over, what it does is it actually flips that fraction. So in this case, the negative part of this is going to flip the fraction. So it's going to be 2 over 1 to the power of 3. Now we can go ahead and simplify. The cube root of 27 is 3. So we have 3 to the power of 2 plus 2 over 1 to the power of 3. Well, 2 over 1 is just 2, so this is 2 to the power of 3. 3 to the power of 2 is 9, plus 2 to the power of 3 is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. And 9 plus 8 is going to be 17. So our answer to question number 14 is going to be 17. There were quite a few steps in there. Hopefully that made sense. Well done, Code. Well done, Ilus. Well done, yes, sir. Well done, double A. Guys, superb work in there. Question 15. I'll just explain how to do this one quickly because it does come up in the exams a lot. So the graph says an object falls from rest. Here is the distance time graph for the distance d meters fallen by the object t seconds after it starts to fall. We're asked to work out an estimate for the value of the gradient of the graph at t is equal to 3. How do we do this? It's quite a classic question. What we have to do is we have to draw a tangent. Double A, Hira Khalid, you're exactly right. Well done. Nicely done, melted face. Somebody's called melted face. Nicely done, melted face as well. Yeah, we're going to draw a tangent at 3. So I'm going to guess that it goes roughly from there. Oh, Okay, that wasn't perfect. So because I'm having to do this on the iPad, it's going to be a bit awkward, but that is pretty much perfect. Yeah, for a tangent at 3. So a tangent is going to be a line which touches our graph at exactly the point and doesn't touch it more than once. So it touches our line exactly once, and the tangent at t is equal to 3. Now we need to find the gradient. So we're going to choose 2 points on this graph, and we're going to do change in y divided by change in x. So I'm going to have to zoom in here. What's the best way to do that? I'm going to zoom in like so. So choosing 2 points on here, I'm going to choose this point here, which we can see is roughly the point 1.2 across and 0 up, so 1.20. And then we can choose the point over here at 3, which looks like it's roughly 3 across. So 3 across. And how many up is it? Well, let's say it goes here. This is going to be 40. So each of those boxes is going to be 5 because there's 10 boxes and it's a distance of 50. It's 2 boxes below, so it's 40. So 340. Now we can do change in y divided by change in x. Just let me zoom back out. So change in y divided by change in x. We're going to do change in y divided by change in x to find the gradient. The change in y, we go from 0 to 40. So it's going to be a change of 40. The change in x, we go from 1.2 to 3. So it's going to be a change of 1.8. Now it does say, to be fair, estimate it. So I'm just going to round that 1.8 to 2. We're going to do 40 over 2, which is going to give us 20. So we rounded that 1.8. So I'm just going to write an approximately in there because it did say to work out an estimate. So we're just going to go ahead and go for 20. They're going to be quite generous with this. A lot of people ask if we can do it perfectly. We don't actually have to do it perfectly. They are going to be quite generous with this one. Okay, moving on now to question number 16, another tricky one. I'm going to give you a couple of moments and I'm going to go through it. I think you're likely to get a question like this, I would say. You're likely to get a question like this. Okay, okay, okay. All right, all right, all right. Guys, I don't know why. Is it just me? Let me know in the chat. Does my face look super red? Because I'm looking, and on my screen, my face is pretty much the same color as the YouTube logo. I don't know if it's just on my screen or what, but I said, yeah. To be honest, yeah, my face does look red. Yeah. What about on the? I think it does on the TikTok as well. I don't know what's. You said just a bit. Mustafa said you're blushing. Abdul said, yeah, you are red. I need to figure out what's going on with that because I'm not red in real life. Not like I've been eating hot chili peppers or something. Okay, 16. Draka said you're stressed a bit. Um, I mean, I'm definitely talking a lot. I'm definitely talking a lot. I've definitely got a lot of, yeah, I'm talking a lot. Let's just say, Riz said, nah, you're more pink. Oh, come on, guys. Come on, come on. Okay, looks like we got a maths teacher in the chat. Maths with Miss Huss. Thank you for answering the questions. Okay, question 16. Zach Wilkins said he's got makeup on. Yeah, I don't, but and if I did, I wouldn't be looking like this, believe you me. Okay, Rem said maths has you stressing LMAO. I'm taking on the stress of everybody. I'm taking on the stress of everybody. Okay. Chloe said these comments. Yeah. Yeah, I shouldn't have started the chat, should I? AA said it could be the lighting. It's definitely the lighting. It's definitely the lighting. Okay. Question 16. At the end of the year N, the population of a species Pn, sorry, the population of a species is Pn. At the start of the following year, the population of the species is given by Pn plus 1. So the population in the next time period is equal to K times by the current population. And K is a positive constant. We're told that the population at the start of year 1 is 8 million. And at the start of year 2 is 6 million. We're asked to work out the population of the species at the start of year 3. So let's work out what we're going to do. So what does this tell us? This tells us that to get from one year to the next year, we multiply by k. So to get from 1 year to the next, we multiply by k. How are we going to work this out then? Well, we know that year 2, which is 6, is going to be k times by year 1, which is 8. So we can say that our 6 million is equal to k times by our first year, which is 8 million. To work out the value of k, then, we can divide both sides by 8. We're going to get 6 over 8 is equal to k. And if we want to, we can simplify this. 6 over 8 simplified, we can divide the top and bottom both by 2. We're going to get 3 over 4. So now we know to go from one year to the next, we multiply it by 3 over 4. So to go from year 2 to year 3, we're going to do 6 million, the amount at the end of year 2, times by 3 over 4. 6 million times 3/4 is going to be 4.5 million. We could do that by dividing by 4 to get 1.5, and then timesing by 3 to get 4.5. Tricky one there, guys. Tricky one. What we did was we worked out essentially the common ratio between the years, which was 3 over 4, and then we applied that to the end of year 2 to get year 3. Okay, moving on then. Part B says, at the end of year 5, the value of k has increased by 0.3 to a new positive constant value. Louise thinks that from the start of year 5, the population of the species would increase year on year. Is Louise correct? Guys, well, if it increases by 0.3, what would it be? So k is currently equal to 3 over 4, which we could write as a decimal as 0.5. If it increased by 0.3, the common ratio would be 0.75 plus 0.3, which is 1.05. Because this is greater than 1, it is now increasing. Because this is greater than 1, it is now increasing. This little 3 dots, for anybody wondering, means therefore. So greater than 1, therefore it's increasing. We're multiplying by a number bigger than 1 each time, so we are getting bigger. Okay, moving on now to question number 17. We're going to do 17 and 18, and that is where we're going to call it a day. Let me just have a quick look through. Okay, I'm going to give everybody a choice. We can either do question 17 and 18, or we can do the last question. I'm going to take a vote on the YouTube, and we're going to go with the majority. I'm going to end this previous poll. Okay, just a sec. 2 options. We're either going to go for the last question or question 17 and 18. So which ones should we do? 17 and 18 or the final question? I'm guessing it's probably going to be more for the final question, but let's have a look. I'm going to take a vote over on the channel, and we're going to go with the majority. Okay, everybody take a vote for me. We have 2/3 so far going for the final question, but only a couple of people have voted, 35 votes. Okay, most people are voting. We're going to go for the final one. We're going to go for the final question. Okay, all right. Let's see what it is. Is it going to be tough? Is this the last one? Okay. Oh, 4 marks. 4 marks. Let's have a look. 4 marks. Question 22. What a beautiful number. The majority said final question, so we are going for the final question. Let's have a look. I'm going to give you about a minute to go through this, and then I'm going to go through it. If you're not going to do this one, okay, actually, because I know some people started question 17. Oh, no. No, we'll finish with this. Okay. Question 22. I'm going to give a minute to go through this. And then we are going to do our final question of the day. Whoosh! The YouTube is up to 91 of us. Welcome to everybody who's new. Welcome to the community. Good to have you on. Absolutely wicked. A couple of people asking what paper this is. This one is the November 2023 Edexcel Higher Paper 1. November 2023 Edexcel Higher Paper 1. Okay. Hira Khalid said, "Sir, can you go back? I want to take a screenshot." I'm not going to be able to go back now, Hira, but if you want to have a look, the recording of the live will go straight up on the channel under the live tab, so you can just check it out there. You can check it out there. Yeah, Mustafa, go ahead and submit it. Question 22. Drop ready in the chat for me when you are ready. We have a tricky one. The second term of a geometric sequence is 3 plus 2 root 2. The third term is 13 plus 9 root 2. Find the value of the common ratio, giving your answer in the form a plus root b. A plus root b, what do we reckon? Apparently Hannah Kettle's in the chat. Hello, Hannah, if you're on here. Hopefully things are good with you. Hannah, for anybody who doesn't know, is another content creator doing GCSE maths on YouTube and TikTok. Makes really good content, really good live streams. So I would definitely recommend her. She's also got predicted papers, which are amongst the best, and they're free, and they're really good ones. They're really good ones. I've seen a lot of the predicted papers now. Hannah's and First Class Maths is are really good. Outside of that, you know, it's kind of clutching. It's kind of clutching. Okay, should we have a look? Let's have a look. Question 22. The second term of a geometric sequence is 3 plus 2 root 2. The third term of the sequence is 13 plus 9 root 2. Find the value of the common ratio. First of all, guys, what's a geometric sequence? What's a geometric sequence? A geometric sequence is a sequence where to get from one term to the next, we times by the same thing each time. So for example, in this case, this would be a geometric sequence with a common ratio of 3. How could we work out the common ratio though? What we can actually do is we can divide one of the terms by the previous term. For example, we could do 6 divided by 2, which would be 3, or we could do 18 divided by 6, which would also give us 3. So how can we apply that principle to this example? Well, in this example, we know the third term is 13 plus 9 root 2, and the second is 3 plus 2 root 2. So to find the common ratio, we can divide the third term by the second term. We can write this as the third term, 13 plus 9 root 2 over 3 plus 2 root 2. So this is going to be equal to our common ratio. What do we have here then? Well, we actually have a rationalizing the denominator problem. We can see at the moment that we have a surd on the bottom of our fraction, and we need to give our fraction in a non-fractional form. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by the current bottom of the fraction. However, we're going to swap the plus for a minus. The rule there is that whenever we're rationalizing the denominator, and we have a number plus or minus a number on the bottom, we need to reverse the sign. So because this is a plus, we turn it into a minus. Next step, we're going to multiply our top by our top and our bottom by our bottom. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. And the best way to think about this, I would say, is to firstly write them out in terms of double brackets. So we're going to have on the top 13 plus 9 root 2 times by 2 minus 2 root 2. And on the bottom, we're going to have 3 plus 2 root 2 times by 2 minus 2 root 2. Where can we go from here? Well, we can expand everything and see what we get. So we're going to have 13 times by 2 is going to be 26. 13 times by minus 2 root 2 is going to be minus 26 root 2. We do the number on the outside times the number on the outside. Then we're going to do 9 root 2 times by 2 is going to be plus 18 root 2. And then we're going to have 9 root 2 times minus 2 root 2. This is going to be minus 9 times 2 on the outside is going to be 18. And 2 times 2 on the inside, we're going to have root 4. On the bottom, what are we going to have? On the bottom, what are we going to have? We can. I wrote the question wrong. Guys, my bad, my bad. I wrote the question out wrong. It was I times it by 2 root 2. Okay, my mistake. I just copied it out wrong. I just copied it out wrong. I haven't been looking at the chat. Okay, we're gonna have to rerun this real quick. We're gonna have to rerun this. Yep. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Check in the chat. My bad, guys. My bad. Well done for spotting the mistake, though. You're correct. You're correct. Well done. Yes, sir. Said read the chat, my brother. Yep. You're correct. You're correct, guys. What should we have done? We should have times by 3 minus 2 root 2. We should have times by 3 minus root 2. Yeah, you're right, guys. Silly mistake there, silly mistake. We copied it down wrong. So rerunning it, let's see what we get now. Let's see what we get now. So 13 plus 9 root 2. I'm gonna look at the chat more. Times by 3 minus 2 root 2 over 3 plus 2 root 2 times by 3 minus 2 root 2. Okay, now we're better. Now we're better. Let's get going, guys. Let's re-expand these brackets. So we're going to do 13 times by 3 is going to be 39. 13 times by minus 2 root 2 is going to be minus 26 root 2. 9 root 2 times 3 is going to be plus 27 root 2. 9 root 2 times minus 2 root 2 is going to be minus 18 root 4. Minus 18 root 4. On the bottom, we're going to have 3 plus 2 root 2 times 3 minus 2 root 2. Now, two ways to do this. We could do the 3 times the 3, which is 9, and then just subtract 2 root 2 times 2 root 2. But just to be extra clear, we're going to expand everything. So we're going to have 3 times by 3 is going to be 9. 3 times by minus 2 root 2 is going to be minus 6 root 2. And then 2 root 2 times by 3 is going to be plus 6 root 2. And then 2 root 2 times by minus 2 root 2 is going to be minus 4 root 4. Okay, simplifying now, what are we going to have? Well, 6 root 2 minus, so minus 6 root 2 plus 6 root 2, we're going to cancel each other out. We can bring together our 26 root 2 plus 27 root 2. So we have minus 26 plus 27 is going to be 1. So we have 39 minus root 2 minus 18 root 4. Now we can actually simplify our 18 root 4 as well. What's the square root of 4? The square root of 4 is 2. So we can write this as 18 times by 2. And 18 times by 2 is going to be 18 times by 2. So let me just make this super clear. So this one is 18 times 2. This is going to be 36. 36. And all of this is going to be over. We're going to have 9 minus 4 root 4. Well, the square root of 4 is going to be 2. So we have 4 times by 2, which is going to be 8. Now, from here, where can we go? This should have been a plus, I see, because minus 26 root 2 plus 27 root 2 would be positive. Hopefully, I said positive. And then where can we go from here? Well, we can simplify. 39 minus 36 is going to be 3. And then we have plus the square root of 2 over 9 minus 8 is going to be 1. 3 plus root 2 over 1 is just going to be 3 plus root 2. And that is going to be our answer to that one. Well done to anybody who got that one. A pretty tricky question. Let's have a look. Did anybody get it? Uma Code, well done. Well done, Rehan. Well done, Nahian. Yeah, guys, well done if you got that one. Well done if you got that one. That was a tricky question. Sorry about the silly mistake. Sorry about the silly mistake. Just to be clear, we multiply the top and the bottom by the current bottom, but we swap the minus for a plus. I just accidentally wrote the 2 in instead of the 3. Fatima said I came late. Yes, sir. Said thank you. You're very, very welcome. Okay, just going to have a quick look at the chat on the TikTok. Who do we have? Nor said, are you first class maths? Nope, I'm my GCSE maths. I do know first class maths. Joey said loud and wrong. Oh, that was a kick. Yeah. We did make a silly mistake. A couple of people People asking chat, is this AI? This is not AI. Awesome. Okay, guys, I'm going to ask for a final favor before we finish. To anybody who wasn't here earlier, please, please, please consider leaving a review. It's the only way, like I said earlier, that I'm going to be able to keep these lives free. So somebody who's spamming the chat. Is this 0580 paper 4? No, it's not. No, it's not. And please don't spam the chat, otherwise you'll get muted. This is the edXL November 2023 paper 1 higher tier. Thank you, QS Editorium. So yeah, guys, if you could leave a Google review, it would really, really help me out. So yeah, if you're up for it, there's a can you tell I'm tired? I can hardly speak now. There's a link in the description of this video. So if you haven't left one already on the YouTube, I'd really appreciate it if you could. My goal over the GCSE period is to keep doing these social media lives for free and to keep doing as many as I possibly can. At the moment, it's probably going to be one foundation and one higher per week. If I'm able to get a good enough response on these reviews, then I'm going to probably be increasing it. So if you haven't left a review yet, please consider doing it. So if you're watching on the TikTok, like I say, you can leave the stream and it's the link in my bio, in my profile. So if you click that, then it will take you through to the review. If you're watching on the channel, then you'll be able to see it in the description of this live stream. So if you just click read more, then you will see this dodgy link for the streaming software that is just there automatically. But then below that, you'll see the Google review link. So if you could click that and leave a review, I would really, really appreciate it. I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to have a quick look and refresh it, see if anybody's done it. Let's have a look. Okay. Can't see any at the moment. Okay, Pink King just did it. Thank you very much. Anybody else? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. And guys, what do we do at the end of every stream? What do we do at the end of every stream? Oh, just a second. Okay, awesome. Somi said party. Yep, you're absolutely right. So at the end of every session, guys, we spam the chat full of as many good vibe emojis as we can. We want dancer emojis, disco emojis, party emojis. Guys, let's get them in the chat. Whatever your favorite emoji is. Let's have a look. Melvin said, let's go. Yeah, exactly. We do a party. It's Jess with the fire emoji, Sibana with the popcorn. What about over on the TikTok? Is anybody partying? Adam's in there with the lightning bolt emoji. Very cool. Okay, the chat's popping off on the channel. Love to see it. Love to see it. Okay. And I'm actually gonna take a video. So let's see. I don't know if I can see it on my phone. But yeah, guys, the party's popping off. Absolutely wicked to see. Absolutely wicked to see. We have local aviator partying. Hassan, come on with the rocket emojis. Love to see it. Maria's waving. Maria, hopefully the revision has gone well today. Gamer E said, you watching the match? Definitely. Yes, sir. Said W. Melvin said, Raven here, boys. Well, hey, what do you know about the Raven? Melvin in there with the W's, Hassan with the volcanoes, Hassan with the popcorn as well. Yes, sir, with the trophies. Guys, it is popping. It is popping. Okay, the second part of the party. What do we do? Guys, take a moment, close your eyes, give yourself a little pat on the back. Hopefully it makes you smile. And guys, I kind of said that in the same tone of voice. I want to slow it down a bit now. Seriously, this part's important. Seriously, this part's important. It's not easy going through the GCSE process, loads of exams, you know, all the stress and pressure from yourself, from family. Um, what's important not only is doing the revision, but also appreciating the work that you're putting in day to day, week to week, over and over, again and again. So, guys, please close your eyes and give yourself a little pat on the back for the work that you're putting in. If you're not going to do it because you feel silly, that's fair enough. But then it's just me looking silly and nobody can see you. 200 people can see me. So yeah, guys, give yourself a little pat on the back and appreciate the work that you're putting in. Dawood said, say my name, please. Okay. Okay, no worries, Hira, no worries. So if you email admin at my GCSE maths or matt at my GCSE maths, so MATT at mygcsemaths.com, it should take you, or that'll get you through to me and I can respond to you. But the lives should be wired up correctly. But I'll have a look after this session and I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Okay. Ishan said, I'm going to sleep. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Shabana Shibs said, say my name too. I got you, I got you. Melvin said, your TikToks are helpful, my man. That's good to hear, that's good to hear. Okay. Guys, absolutely fantastic. I'm just going to have a quick look. Droney said I just left the review. Let's have a look. Somebody actually, wicked. Okay, couple more people did. Oh, thank you so much, eh? Pink King, Henrika, Zinu, Danu, Rehan, Ishal, thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Yeah, and we've kind of counteracted now that person who left the 1 star earlier. Okay, please don't spam the chat. Shabana, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's Jess says bye. Thank you so much. Hey, my pleasure. Guys, I'm going to say adios now. Hasta luego. Arrivederci. Have a fantastic evening. And good luck with the revision over the next week. Guys, a lot of you actually I probably won't see before your first exam. So good luck with your first exam. I'm going to be live next week. Definitely doing revision before the exam. So stay tuned for that. I'm also going to be announcing a couple of extra lives this week. So stay tuned for updates. I'll be updating on my TikTok story, on my TikTok posts. I'll also be uploading on the YouTube inside of the community. So you can just check that out. You can check that out. Okay, guys, thank you for a fantastic session. Hopefully that was helpful. Goodbye to Shabana, Hira, Dawood, S1, Somi, QS Editorium, Shabana, Shamex, Melbourne, Mo. Guys, fantastic work. Hira, don't worry, I'm going to be getting back to you. Just send me an email and I'll sort that out for you. Guys, arrivederci, adios, ciao, ciao, ciao. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.